What's that? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Mr. Polish?
Here.
Mrs. Tanisov is here. Mrs. Bazzetti? Here. Mr. Pazanza?
Here.
Mr. Malmquist?
Yep.
Mr. Pizzoni?
Here.
Mr. Tomasowski?
Here.
We have approval of the minutes from the March 17th board meeting.
I move to approve the minutes from the March 17th board meeting as stands.
There's a second?
I'll second.
We have
I
a
was
first.
absent.
We have a first and a second for the March 17th board meetings. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approval of agenda.
Nothing further to add for.
Sarah McCord present.
Yes, I am.
Where are you? And Pam Leonard.
Yes, I am.
Where are you, Pam?
Right next to her.
Okay. Would you still rather be on the agenda as opposed to public audience participation?
Your choice. You told me I wasn't on the agenda, that I could speak at public. Well, I was told I would speak at public because we weren't going to be placed on the agenda. So we're ready. Either way. I am. Are you?
The only thing that it affects is the length of my speaking is broken up between myself and another person if placed in the audience participation, because my what I have to say exceeds 5 minutes. So I guess that's up to you how you'd like to address it.
Did anybody tell you you'd be restricted to 5 minutes?
That's what's listed on the school website, that they say that you have 5 minutes. So
If you go down below, the presiding officer is allowed to extend it.
that's fine. I just wanted to be prepared in case that wasn't the case.
So both you understand this clearly. If you're placed on the agenda, we need a specific topic. And if it's about personnel, you have to go through the chain of command before you can come to the board. And the presiding officer has a right to restrict to no public comment if you're on the agenda. If you're in public participation, then you're able to speak freely in regards to personnel issues.
Okay, the public forum will be fine, thank you.
So you're not making a request to be on the agenda?
No.
No.
Here, a motion to approve the agenda.
All approved.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Announcements?
Just what you have in your board packet, Mr. Lewis has tendered his resignation was accepted, and we accept his regrets and hope Joe gets healthy. Resignation from Mrs. Mazzoni, which I accepted on behalf of the board, as Patty's nearing retirement, and we wish her the best of luck, and a resignation from Mrs. Hayden also, our math teacher. Started the same year Mrs. Hayden started, 1992. I wish her the best.
No, I forgot to throw in the thing about the agenda. If you're on the agenda too, you have to wait. If you're public participation, you don't. How many, I'm not attempting at all to restrict people who want to comment after the initial comments are made, but how many people have a, quote, presentation to make? Just the two of you? Okay. Due to, I think Pam made the initial request first, but I don't care who goes first.
It doesn't, whatever.
Okay. I'll stand up so everybody has a chance to hear me.
And why don't you re-identify yourself?
I certainly will. My name's Pam Leonard, and I'm the mother of a West Iron County High School student who is also a member of your track team. And I come before this board to express my concerns over the events that took place on 3/27 of 2014 and to inquire on what actions will be taken. My daughter, whom is a freshman, joined the track team, and it's her first time ever in a sporting event. And I don't have to go into the details, you all know of the events that took place and thereafter. I am appalled at how this situation has been handled and how it has spiraled into many other concerns. My concerns personally come from my student being told not to show support for a fellow student in any way, shape, or form, and I'm saying way, shape, or form. She says it a little differently. My daughter was afraid, literally afraid, to show support for Mike in any way, shape, or form. She had kids texting her, "Are you going to support Mike?" And she had kids say, "Well, you should." She shouldn't have been put in that position at all. And my daughter has never been afraid of anything, and I was just flabbergasted that she was afraid, and those are her words, afraid too. She says, "I'm afraid of getting in trouble." And I had to reassure her, you're not going to get in trouble. If you don't do anything wrong, you don't say anything nasty or say swears, you're not going to be in trouble. And so I encouraged her. I said, if you feel like you want to support Mike, it's fine. You can go ahead and make your comments on Facebook and tell him that it's a good thing what he's doing, if that's what you choose to. And I just want to say, I don't feel it's anybody's right, teacher, coach, administrator, whatever the title may be, to instill any kind of fear. And I'm not saying that the fear was instilled in everybody, but it certainly was in mine. And that was not what I wanted for her as a first-time sporting event. I encouraged her to join, and then their very first track meet, this happened. I'm really disappointed, to say the least. I think it's disturbing. I did reach out to a couple of board members. They were very cordial and nice and listened to my concerns, and I reached out to them right away as soon as possible. I also spoke to Mr. Thompson, who listened to my concerns, and he advised me that you're looking into things. Well, at the time that I talked to Mr. Thompson, it was well past a week later. He said to me, which I read in the paper, that they formed a committee. Well, that's nice. How did you decide who goes on that committee and all of that stuff? That's a question I have. But the conversation that I had with him left me having bigger concerns. I'm sorry, they did. Just by a couple of comments you made to me. One of the comments you made to me, you said to me, I told you what my daughter's concern, what she said to me, and you said, well, I just want you to know I heard from others that didn't take place. And I held my ground for a moment, and I said, well, are you telling me that Molly's lying? And he said, no. I'm just letting you know that there's another side. And I get that. I get that there's two sides. But you almost implied to me that that's what that was. And in my household, we have consequences. She doesn't have any reason to lie to me. Because if she was lying, first of all, she wouldn't have been afraid to do, to support him in any way, shape, or form. So your comments to me, just personally, I wasn't impressed, I'm sorry. And I feel this whole issue's been handled improperly, and I think the public deserves some answers. Obviously, you as a board have to figure out what those answers are, and I do feel that the track team, and maybe not everybody's gonna agree, I don't know, but apologies are due. That these are adults who are supposed to be prime examples in teaching our students. They're supposed to be pillars of our community. You don't act like that. You don't say those things. The kids are bad enough by themselves sometimes. They don't need to be added to. And I just want to remind everybody that in the comments that were made, I think Mr. Thompson made them for the paper, you advised in the comments that as long as it wasn't disturbing anything for curriculum. Well, curriculum is in-school activities. Sports are events that we pay for as parents and our children devote their time and efforts to. And that's not part of the curriculum, it's extracurriculum activity. So you realize that. And you as school board officials, you're elected officials. You're put in place to make sure that not only the financial works of the school, but other matters are handled properly. And I'm here to make sure and hold you all accountable to make sure that that happens. And I hope that the people that, it just seems like it's spiraled out of control. You had so many opportunities to turn this into a good thing, and one time after another it's turned into something more negative. I'm not out to bash anybody or to hurt anyone in particular, just stating the facts. Handled totally improperly all the way through as far as I can see and I can determine. And I do, thanks for your time, thanks for listening to me, and I certainly do hope that it's looked into. I mean, we're a small community. Everybody seems to know one another in one way, shape, or form, or through someone else. People do talk. Things get taken out of proportion sometimes, I get that, and I think most adults do. But you have children that say different things. They don't all lie. They don't all tell, they can't all be telling something wrong. So you need to think about that when you're making these decisions. And like I said, I will certainly, if I have to attend every meeting from here on out, I'm going to make sure that you do. Thanks for your time.